Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lane. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 51 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
A gain of 6 there on first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Watch the safety creep.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the gun, Lane. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. And you got caught in between and created a foul.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that...
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Emerson Griffin racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal. This from 44 yards away. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully. Not
a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Complete to right. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. This will be Dalton again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Joe Mixon, and an alley to run. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. But just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Dalton. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton, and the catch made by Hopkins. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Passing, it's Dalton. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. So Dalton now. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
Now Dalton. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the play fake. Lane. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Looking to throw. Lane. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Lane. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Dalton off play action.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls.
He's got it at the 15. A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
You gonna see me and you
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Third down from the gun, Dalton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got third and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Randy Bullock on for the field goal of 26 yards.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, a give to Mixon. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. From the gun on third down, Lane. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. McCaffrey trying to escape, but he cannot. They get him in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They'll run here with Mixon, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Lane. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They brought the house that time on a young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well. DeAndre
Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
This is McCaffrey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike, check, 59.
And Dalton to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. On 2nd and inches, Dalton. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And they'll be driven back here to 9. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Andy Dalton, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. Bullock's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within a couple at 8-6 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Dalton, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw here, Dalton. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Lane. He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Lane. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Lane. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
2nd and 1. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he gets it down to the 32. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be from 49 yards out. Succop's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. McCaffrey on the counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Dalton. He's got Smith here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in, but it's going to be second down. Now Mixon. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Lane. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Dalton. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come.
We got 3.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Dalton. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Returning, it's Benjamin. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Lane. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Let's go, baby.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran Devin McCourty who got a hand in there to break that one up. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And out now come the Vikings. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lane. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Mixon. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On third down, Lane. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played the responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Go now. 60 outlaw.
It's a gain of a yard.
To throw on 3rd down. Lane. They got a man. It's Woods. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Got it.
Check. 59.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon.
Watch the twist.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Dalton, complete to right. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And Dalton to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. He finds Hopkins complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Defense.
To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Check 59.
Here's McCaffrey. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears cut into that lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Bullock good on the extra point. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to Mixon on first down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. Second down and inches. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Back to throw. Lane.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Mixon with a first down carry. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. Again, it's Mixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Vikings on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
15 line it. 15 line it. We want it. Come to my
On first down, Nixon. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. The open man is Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. To throw here, Dalton. It's caught, Smith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Passing, it's Dalton. And his throw here's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Dalton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
Again, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.